wait. What do you mean it was very scary in the beginning? What do you mean?
It was very scary that to have a doctor, a very well-respected pediatrician, say this is my first 5-year-old to have this. And I think there must be a terrible mistake that 300 is something got messed up with the blood work, because no way could her cholesterol reading be in the 300s. And that was a little scary, because you immediately think, oh no, there's a major health issue involving heart, big major organ. And does that mean that my 5-year-old's lifespan is shortened, or is that what does it mean? It was just a lot of unknowns.
Welcome to episode 1 of A Heart Health Carolina. That's my mom you just heard. She's talking about when she first learned that I have high cholesterol. Cholesterol is something that your body produces naturally. It's sort of a waxy material that helps your body produce cells and function normally. At a normal level, cholesterol is a good thing. But when your body starts to produce it in excess, or you intake too much of it in your diet, well, that's when it becomes a problem. And it isn't just the cholesterol amount in foods that impacts your levels, as UofSC dietitian Juliana Wishnia explains.
The saturated fat that you're intaking kind of has to do something to your body, because again, like the same concept of like food is fuel. So the saturated fat would then raise your cholesterol levels. Your cholesterol levels, when it gets higher, it narrows the arteries and can harden them.
And when the arteries harden and narrow is when things like strokes and heart disease can become a concern. And
like cardiovascular disease is our number one killer.
So I guess you could say this heart stuff is a pretty big deal. Let's keep going.
We got your results a couple days later, and Dr. James thoroughly went through all the results, explained HDL, LDL, triglycerides.
My mom again, with more terms that might be unfamiliar to you. She just listed the different parts of cholesterol. LDL is commonly referred to as the bad cholesterol. This is the one that builds the plaque that clogs your arteries. HDL is the good cholesterol. It carries the excess cholesterol back to your liver to be filtered out of the body. And triglycerides, they're like little pockets of extra calories that your body can use for extra energy when you need. But if you don't use them, they turn to waste and can contribute to the hardening and clogging of your arteries. Because of my high cholesterol, my diet was a bit strange growing up.
But you did feel different, and I think kids being kids, they noticed it with your lunches and would say, ask you about, why are you eating sandwiches not on white bread, but on wraps or pita bread or different stuff. It was just more of establishing healthy habits. And I think that that's, what the objective should just be, not leading a lifestyle because you want immediate change or immediate results, but just continuing an evolution for lifestyle habits.
Because my total cholesterol stubbornly refused to go down,
so we went to see the specialist in Charlotte, Dr. Riopel, the pediatric cardiologist, and he immediately wanted to put you on a statin drug. And I refused because there was absolutely no studies done at the time for young prepubescent kids on a long-term statin.
Cardiac specialists wanted to start me on a statin, a cholesterol-lowering medication, back in elementary school. But my mom firmly believed that was the wrong choice, and it's a good thing she did.
The thought process for that community, that medical community, changed, and it kind of coincided with where we stood as a family, that we were not going to put you on a lifetime of medication, but would monitor it annually and just kind of see and stress healthy habits and no smoking, regular cardio exercise, that Mediterranean diet, and just be aware.
And my mom is right. According to Dr. Turner, a professor at the University of South Carolina's School of Public Health who researches cardiovascular disease,
Well, medications have side effects, and so they can range from liver problems to bone health issues. So there's a variety of problems that can arise. But, sort of one of the main problems is diet is sort of the silver bullet that doesn't just help with heart disease, it helps with a variety of different conditions. So you may be lowering your cholesterol, but you're doing nothing to reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes or your risk of cancer. And so we tend to focus on these sort of narrow ranges. So you go into your doctor, you have high cholesterol, you get a prescription medicine, you go back the next year, your blood glucose is high, you get a prescription medicine, instead of if you had just switched diet, that would have sort of targeted all of those.
Based on studies and research, the thinking really has changed now.
Diet and exercise is always the first thing that's supposed to be tried. And a lot of times you'll see people they kind of try, but they don't really know what to do. And then, they go back to their doctor and the doctor's like, well, we tried it. When they didn't really try it, they didn't fully do what they needed to do.
So what do you need to do as far as diet and exercise to make sure that you're protecting your heart?
So first of all, even at a young age, I make sure, regardless of what their size is, their body mass, they have to move their body an hour a day.
That's Dr. James, my childhood pediatrician my mom mentioned earlier.
And number two, just looking at foods, trying to, not have such a restricted diet. Yes, you're going to have pizza. Yes, you're going to have fries, but make sure there's a protein and a carbohydrate, making sure that the protein will offset the carbohydrate, because with that carbohydrate, you've got a lot of sugar. Typically, there's also salt involved, and so you get a rapid rise in insulin. And if you have a protein on board, so say, for instance, like a typical breakfast I would like would be eggs and bacon. I'm fine with you doing that. The protein will level off the sugar, will level off the insulin, and you won't get quite as many spikes and falls in your blood sugar, and you won't feel hungry all the time.
On the next episode of A Heart Health Carolina, more on how you can adjust your diet to fuel your heart. And no, you won't have to give up Chicken Finger Wednesday. Until next time, forever to thee, Carolina.